Everything that you think you are is built up in your own head. You can wake up tomorrow and decide to be a complete different person. Who are you when nobody is watching? There hasn't been a single day in these past 6 months that I've had a bad day. Not one day. Alright, you guys, hello. Good afternoon, evening / morning, wherever you are, and welcome back to another video. This is Trans Archive. I'm gonna start off by just clarifying what this is, just for the people who are new subscribers, or for the people who don't really understand what I'm doing, because I know I sometimes am not the most clear with what I'm doing. Essentially, Trans Archive is just documenting my journey from where I am today to where I'm going to be. Now, the end goal for this season of Trans Archive, who knows if there'll be more, is to get to India and to be sitting on the beach in Goa and listening to the album The College Dropout by Kanye West. The India thing, it's a massive pilgrimage for me. It feels spiritually correct. It's been part of me for 4 years now, and this is the year that it happens. So I figured, let me document it, because it's such a huge milestone for me in my life. And my next point is I wanted to show a little bit of gratitude. Trans Archive started as purely for documentary purposes, so it was a private account with about 10 followers of my closest circle, and I just wanted to document my journey. Like, that was it. There was no real output effort, there was no real anything. It was just, let me just document where I am and keep you guys updated, essentially. We've now grown to almost 200 followers on Instagram, which is massive. I mean, there's 200 people who actually want to see what I'm doing, you know, and actually want to follow along. And so I just wanted to show my gratitude for anybody who's watching this, and to say thank you, really thank you. For those of you who show your support through just viewing, or through following, or through interacting, or whatever it is, you know, I'm grateful. Because it means the world to me. This is the reason I do it. It's the human interaction that means so much to me. I feel like sometimes I don't express it enough, or sometimes I'm a little bit ungrateful with, oh, my video flopped, you know? Which is fair enough, I'm human. But I understand that there's people who actually are invested in what I'm doing, and that's beautiful. So thank you. I feel like we're really building something here. We're building connection, we're building bonds. I'm speaking to people that I've never spoken to before. And that's beautiful. I'm speaking to people that I maybe used to be in contact with, and now have rekindled the contact, which is beautiful. And I think that's a really important thing to remember, that sometimes it's not about the insights or analytics or how many views I'm getting, but it's more about the connections that I'm making through it. Anyways, we're here for a reason, and that is why I wake up at 4 a.m. I'm just going to split it into two very simple parts. Number one, why I started. Number two, why I keep doing it. So I've been waking up at 4 a.m. for 6 months, and the growth has been tremendous. The results have been huge. So let's get straight into it. Why did I start? The reason I started waking up at 4 a.m. was purely just for more time. I felt like my days were stacked with too much. I felt overwhelmed. I felt like I had no control over my day. I was living my days on autopilot, and I know we've all been there. You might be there right now while you're watching. I felt like my days were controlling me. Now, there's a lot of cliches. Win the morning, win the day. And live your mornings intentionally, the rest of your day will be done intentionally. I had something up on my wall for a very long time that said, early to bed, early to rise, makes a man healthy, wealthy, and wise, which is quite good. But essentially, it was just because I needed more time, and I just wanted to feel a little bit more in control of my life. There's so much that happens, and like I said in my previous video, we are constantly surrounded by distraction. There is so much happening all the time that it's only logical for us to feel overwhelmed by each day. It's only logical for us to end a day off and be like, that was a lot. I understand, you're tired. You feel like you're not where you want to be. You feel like you're carrying so much untapped potential that you just can't access because life is too much. I'm living proof to tell you that that's not true. It's just where your priorities lie and where you sacrifice. We all make sacrifice. And at the moment, if you feel like your life is controlling you, you're sacrificing useful time. You're sacrificing intentional living for the living that you're living at the moment. And that was a realization that I had. So it really just started off with me just feeling like I needed more time. So I would wake up at 5. It started off with waking up at 5 and essentially really doing nothing. Essentially listening to music or like reading a couple pages of a book or stretching. Like I was trying to figure out what I wanted to do. I meditated a couple mornings. I went to the sauna. I went to the gym, trying to figure out what works. This was part of it, exploring the unknown, right? But it started to align itself a little bit more when I realized I wanted to have an hour without being on my phone, just doing something productive. It didn't have to be planned. It didn't have to be anything way too crazy. It didn't have to be run 10 kilometers or whatever. It was literally just do something that doesn't involve my phone. So I started playing the guitar and I started writing and journaling and I started reading and stretching and meditating and going for walks. And so this was an indicator to me, if I didn't have my phone, what would I actually enjoy doing? And so this was actually a sort of spiritual awakening, you can call it, where I realized, oh, well, these are actually habits that I want to do, but I can't find time for, essentially. So I started to solidify these more. I came up with a habit tracker. If you want to learn a little bit more about like my journey and what I do like on my day-to-day basis, that's linked up there. That goes through the habit tracker and the goals and all of that. But anyways, that's essentially how it started. I then read something about the golden hour, which is subconsciously the first hour of your morning is the most important. Whatever you do for your mind in that first hour of your morning is the most important, and that will carry out throughout the day. I know it sounds cliche, win your morning, win your day, but forget about the morning. Win that first hour of your day and you win your entire day. And that's what I've learned, is the fact that if you live your first hour intentionally, if you get up and you actually make your bed immediately and you do whatever, I do like lymphatic stretches where I like swing my body around so that my body wakes up and make a cup of coffee intentionally, you know? I love coffee, Soul Collective, that whole thing. So I like to make a coffee early in the morning and drink it and feel your body wake up. And unfortunately, I use snooze. But to take that first snooze after your body like starts reacting to the coffee, it's a nice feeling, man. So there's been a lot of different things that I do in the morning, but it's essentially just off my phone. And so it started with 1 hour, and then it went over to 2, and then now it went over to 3. So that's why I wake up at 4 in the morning. Because I essentially, these first 3 hours of me are pure silence. I don't speak to anyone. I'm not on my phone. Sometimes I'm on my laptop, sure, and sometimes I watch YouTube. Just like good things to ingest, because my brain is so converted. My brain is so climatized to ingesting the first thing in the morning that sometimes I do put on YouTube, but I'll put on like a Bible sermon, or I'll put on like a TED talk or something, like actually ingesting good, which I'm not super happy about. Like I'd rather read the Bible and I'd rather study the Bible, or I'd rather journal or read. But this is a journey, exploring the unknown. I'll come back to it over and over because that's why I'm doing this. But as long as I'm not on my phone, as long as I'm not scrolling reels or ingesting content or immediately replying to people, the world is so full of noise at the moment, especially in this moment. We've got so much noise that just is constantly hounding on us, and so much consumption of a lot of nonsense, essentially, that what I know that the rest of my day will be filled with noise. So it's nice to know that I get a morning that isn't. And that's why I keep on doing it. It's that simple. So if I were to really summarize it, it would just be sort of intentional living. It helped me pull intention from my mornings throughout my day. And so now I'm living intentionally. And every day I wake up and I go to bed feeling like, wow, I lived this day intentionally. There hasn't been a single day in these past 6 months that I've had a bad day. Not one day. And sure, I've had bad moments. I've had really bad moments. But it's so easy to look back and be like, it can't have been a bad day because I got up and I started the day and I started it with good intentions and I started it how I wanted to, intentionally. And so if something happens during the day, I can always fall back onto the fact that no, but it can't be a bad day, because then I would be sort of disrespecting or showing a lack of gratitude to who I was in the morning. We're constantly evolving, and we can constantly evolve in micro steps throughout the day. But if I know that, okay, well, I woke up in the morning with intention and I woke up with good intention, then all I can do is show gratitude at the end of the day and say, well, you know what? Maybe the afternoon didn't go so well, but the morning went really well. And this is something I can fall back onto every single day. So I can tell you confidently that for the past 6 months, I have not had a single bad day, which is incredible. Nothing feels repetitive. Nothing feels like I'm living on autopilot. I haven't felt that in 6 months. I'm the healthiest I've ever been. I'm learning so much. I've learned an entire amount of stuff in the past 6 months, and I can owe that all to just waking up early and spending some time in silence. Okay. This is me an hour later. The camera died mid-sentence, man, which was not an enjoyable experience. I can vouch for that. So I've sat and edited the whole first part of the video. And the reflection in the glasses, I'm sorry for that. That is a rookie mistake. But I'm quite happy with what I've said. I think I don't want to overcomplicate it. Intentional living is the way that we should live, or the way that we should strive to live, really understanding. I think it's the best way we can show gratitude. But I'll leave it there. If anyone has any more questions, please feel free to call me or chat to me, or you know where to find me. But I did get replies on my story. I got two questions, which I figured I'd answer, show respect to the people who asked and who were curious. And the first one I've got here is, where do you see yourself in 5 years? Honestly, I don't really have a firm goal for myself in 5 years. I mean, it's easy to say, like, I want to be financially free. I want to be filming content. I want to be documenting my lifestyle. I want to be traveling, all of that sort of things. But that, I can't decide myself. That's God's will, right? So all of that, all of my hopes and dreams lie in God's hands, and I can just act the way I do today in order to get to where I want to be tomorrow, essentially. So I'd say physical things that I'd want in 5 years is a master's degree in architecture, to be filming content and just to be happy. Hopefully have started building what will be a family in the future, and just being a good man, staying sober until then, and for my whole life. And yeah, I think I'd want to be living somewhere in Asia, I guess, or Africa. But again, like I said, all of this lies in God's will. Like, I know the only thing I can do is act how I want to today, and eventually my systems, my baseline, my habits will take me to really cool things. You know, I'm not super attached to where am I going to be soon. I can only think about today. But thank you for the question. And then the next one was word for word. Would be interesting to know your biggest game changes for self-discipline, since you apparently super dialed and now. I don't swear anymore, but you guys are, that's what he wrote. Self-discipline. I don't think I hold self-discipline, or not the level of like it's definitely not David Goggins. Self-discipline. Biggest game changes, I guess. Starting simple, like I said, with the whole 4 a.m. wake up, like it seems super like discipline ridden from the outside world, which I guess it kind of is since it's stuck. But like I said, it was just because I wanted to wake up earlier to get more stuff done. So I think the biggest game changer is just actually understanding what you want out of life, understanding what you're working towards instead of just working hard. Because I don't think that can take, I know that can't take me very far in just, oh, I'm working hard, you know, it lasts about 2 weeks and then I'm on to the next thing. But I think it's actually understanding what your purpose is. And for those of you who have absolutely no idea where to look for it and are open-minded enough to look for it, God, I'm not going to preach dogmatic theory down your throats. But God helped me find my purpose. So if you really feel lost, say a little prayer. You don't have to be on your knees. You don't have to, be absolutely religious Christian. But say a little prayer. And if you don't know where to start, please, again, ask me. I'm here to share what I know. But yeah, I guess in the most simple factors, just the reason I live a disciplined lifestyle, I guess you could call it, is purely understanding what I want out of life. And understanding what my purpose is, and sort of paying gratitude to who I am. I have a long past. I have a long dark past. So I guess at the start it was more like sort of like, oh, I'm gonna prove it to myself and all the people who hated me. But these didn't stick. This was motivation fueled by negativity, and that doesn't work. Sure, in the beginning, choose whatever motivates you and run with it for as long as you can. But I can promise you that negativity won't take you far. It's purely for the love of the game, I guess, where you can actually sort of sit down and realize, like, we live such a blessed life to be able to wake up in absolute safety and not in a war-ridden country and not having to get through a day of famine or disease or anything, and thank the God that it's like that for those of us who have it. And for those of you who don't, my heart is with you and I pray for you every single day, because nobody deserves to suffer like some of the people that do at this moment, and who have in the past and who will in the future. Suffering is a part of life. So I think just holding gratitude for the fact that we don't have to go through this daily, these deep sufferings. The best thing I can do is just take action and live my life how it was intended, how God intended it for me. And also, I guess the last thing, and this is the last point I'll leave it off with because I don't want to reach another 28-minute video, is understanding that life is a game. Play it as if it's a video game. I mean, if you were dropped into an absolute new world, third-person view, think of GTA. You're dropped into a new world. Are you literally just going to sit on your phone and lay in your bed for the entirety of the video game and just do what you're forced to? I mean, I'm not the one to start with side quests and then I explore first and then you do the side quest. You gain the XP later. But I mean, if you think of it as a video game, is this really how you choose to spend like a game? Life is a game. There's nothing that attaches us to what we do. There's no, like, everything that you think you are is built up in your own head. You can wake up tomorrow and decide to be a complete different person. You can wake up tomorrow and just take on a whole new personality and run with it. Because who cares? Who's going to tell you this isn't you? What's going on? What's going on? You just tell them I'm changing, man. I have the freedom to change. We all have the freedom to change, but we're so boxed in our own little heads and thinking, oh, well, I studied this degree, so this is who I am. Nothing defines you. Absolutely nothing defines you. The only thing that defines you is who you act, is how you act when nobody's watching. That's the most character-defining moment. And how do you act when nobody's watching? How do you act when nobody's watching? Who are you when nobody is watching? Thanks for watching. Ironic, but thanks for watching. See you next week. It's been a really, really good week, and yeah, take action. Peace, baby.